Forget about the curse of Canberra. St George Illawarra's mission in round 3 wasn't simply about ending their much-discussed 13-year drought in the nation's capital, but more about kick-starting their current campaign. Their opponents, however, just happened to be in an identical position for season 2013. And that meant that both sides would not only be desperate, but looking for a sound launching pad in this duel.
Back to Beale, a long pass to Morris. He lunges to the line.
Gavin Badger sent it upstairs, and it was just as well for the Raiders that he did, with the video detecting Saints skipper Ben Creagh initiating contact with defender Josh McCrone. The try's rejection will merely fuel debate about the current obstruction interpretation, and it also forced the Dragons to find a different way of feeding Morris.
Fiend pumps it over the top, and beautiful from Brett Morris. What a try to open his account this evening.
After returning from the Gold Coast with nothing but a donut, Canberra didn't care how they got on the board.
When they go short side, Ferguson with the grubber through, an opportunity, and they're claiming it. Reece Robinson watched them fall.
It was like a game of 10 pins as Matt Cooper cannoned Blake Ferguson into Brett Morris. Shandor Earl also took a tumble, and Raiders fullback Reece Robinson came through to capitalise quite fairly. A rather bizarre half of footy wound down on much the same note.
Sal sets himself for a field goal. He struck it beautifully. Everyone happy? And he gets it right on the siren.
Soward's booming left footer halved the Dragons' deficit to a solitary point at the change of ends. Yet just 2 minutes after the resumption, they had another major problem to deal with as Jared Croker cracked the line.
One-on-one, full-back in front. Here comes Reece Robinson. Now it's 2-on-2. Raiders v Dragons. The Dragons too good in the form of Matt Pryor. Robinson looks one way, sneaks the other, and scores for Canberra.
The season's sneakiest four-pointer was met with a swift response.
Merrin used as the decoy now. Fino out wide. It's try time for the Dragons. A former Raider, Daniel Vito, with the points.
With so much at stake in this one, St George Illawarra certainly weren't going to lie down. However, their hosts held loftier aspirations.
Williams at crossfield. Timely, because here come his teammates, in particular Jared Croker. The Raiders extend their lead.
A massive moment in the context of this affair came as the clock ticked towards 60 minutes.
Looking for the points at the end of it. Shandor rolls over. And that could well be it. The Raiders dominating.
Croker drilled his conversion down the middle, inflating the margin to 13, and thereby demanding that the red and white strike back straight away.
Playing straight to Merrin, flicks it back, try for the Dragons. Are we set for another thrilling finish between the Raiders and Dragons?
Steve Price's side had tried to hang in there, but ultimately they couldn't cope with the speed and agility of a confident Green Machine.
Reece Robinson grabs it. Now it's a foot race. Robinson and Beale. Robinson back on the inside to Croker. The Raiders secure another win over the Dragons.
Victory for Canberra in their first home game of 2013 by a margin of 13. David Rollins, NRL.com.